J Boogie back with another video today. Make sure you guys don't forget to like and comment under this video. So today I will be talking about who is in my top 5 best centers to ever play in the game of basketball during the 2010s era. So basically from 2010 through 2019. So at number 5, who I got, no other than the Big Al Horford. You know, his best prime years, of course, stats-wise and everything, was during the Atlanta Hawks era with him, ISO Joe Johnson, bucket getter, Jamal Crawford, bucket getter, and Jay Smooth, Josh Smith. So that was a pretty well-stacked team. And of course, shout out to Jeff Teague and that team, him and Jeff Teague and Kyle Korver and DeMar Carroll during the 2014-15 season. But yeah, Al Horford, man, you know, he was pretty much an all-around offensive player. He was a good post presence, left block, right block, can spread the floor with his mid-range shots. He pretty much has been a very consistent post presence, big man throughout his whole career in Atlanta Hawks, pretty much in the 2010s, and then he really became a very, very important floor spacer at the three-point line once he arrived to the Boston Celtics during his first stint. His first stint when him and Kyrie and Gordon Hayward had arrived with the Celtics, or before that when he was playing along with Isaiah Thomas. But you know, Al Horford, man, pretty much been consistent his whole career, double-digit scorer, good rebounder, post presence. I think he had an accolade of a one-time all-defensive team, so he pretty much was a good defender in his prime. Still is. But, you know, definitely his prime, he was definitely a good defender. You know, and then, of course, now, today, in 2024, well-deserved championship, won his first ring. You know, he remained composed, remained consistent, stayed patient, came back to the Celtics during his second stint, waited 3 more years, and then you finally win a championship with a good group of players, with Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, Derek White, and Porzingis. So, Al Horford, well-deserved ring, well-deserved championship. So shout out to him. So he definitely deserved to be number 5 on my list, no doubt about it. And at number 4, no other than the Frenchman, the 7-foot Frenchman, Rudy Gobert. Basically, he was a defensive monster in the 2010s. One of the best shot blockers. Winning multiple defensive players of the years. Making multiple all-defensive teams and few all-star appearances. But he really didn't hit his stride like that probably until the year before Donovan Mitchell had came, and then when him and Donovan Mitchell clicked, you know, Utah had been the number 1 team or the top teams in the West for a few years. So Rudy Gobert, man, like I said, he wasn't the biggest offensive player on this. He's not the biggest offensive player on this list, but his defensive resume accolade speaks for itself. Like I said, you gotta give credit to his rim protecting, the way he can play help defense, shot blocking, altering shots. You know, you gotta give credit to him for that. And you know, like I said, to this day, you know, he still doesn't have the biggest offensive bag, but he, like I said, his defensive presence alone sets him apart. And you know, like I say, he's great at. He's really more great at altering shots, regardless of him blocking shots, but he's good at making people altering their shots just because of his wingspan, his length, and his height. So he deserves to be number 4 on my list, no doubt about it. And who I got number 3, the real boogie, DeMarcus Cousins, prime years, dominant years with the Kings, a walking double-double. Now in the post, he can take in the post, mid-range, he has good agility for his size, can spread the floor, can knock down many mid-range shots as he needs to. Then he can take you on the block on either side, can finish with either hand, dominant, posterizing, a great rebounder. DeMarcus Cousins had it all. You know, just unfortunate during that era of the 2010, the Sacramento Kings front office was terrible. Good thing they drafted him, but they didn't do it right. They had potential, but then it was like it became inconsistent with the pieces around him. Unfortunately, couldn't get up to hump on that part with him, but his numbers, his resume, his highlights, his stats, all of that with the Kings was incredible. And then, of course, now with the Pelicans, when he got traded to the Pelicans, you know, he was dominant with him and AD. That's probably one of the biggest what-if duos of big men you have ever seen, because you got two guys, pretty much great offensive players at their position, and then of course you got AD being a great two-way player, of being an offensive player and able to defend in the paint, guard multiple positions. So, you know, that's a big what-if. But DeMarcus Cousins with the Pelicans, man, he was pretty much, you see his full offensive bag. His offensive game elevated even more. The outlet passes. He always been a good playmaker, no doubt about it. But you know, honestly, you seen his ability to shoot threes. You know, he had the total package offensively, and for his size, like I said, he can go up and down the court, coast to coast, knock people out of the way, and just posterize on anybody. So DeMarcus Cousins, man, was definitely a pure beast, a real boogie beast, if you will, in the 2010s. So he deserves to be number 3 on my list. And number 2, my man, Big Spain, Marc Gasol. Dominant years with the Grizzlies. You know, I'm a big Grizzly fan. I'm from Memphis. Shout out to Memphis. You know, man, he was the first, before really Jokic, he was the first point somewhat center, but then he was also a good defender. So his playmaking ability was top notch. A good banger in the post, left block. To really be dominant in the post. And you know, like I say, he made a huge impact of the Grizzlies franchise. He was spectacular, man. One of the defensive players of the year with the Grizzlies. You know, he just was the cornerstone with him, Zach Randolph, Mike Conley, Tony Allen. There was a big core four, and Marc Gasol deserved to win that championship with the Toronto Raptors with Kawhi Leonard during the 2018-19 season. And Marc Gasol, man, like I said, if he was in his prime in today's game, he was no doubt be putting up great numbers, because he was already kind of ahead of his skill set at that 5 position, of being that sometimes being a point center and then able to take over games, knocking down mid-range shots, post fadeaways, and then extending his game to making threes. So Marc Gasol has definitely been a huge impact. Like I said, his skill set was top notch, and then he was a good defender, good rebounder, good playmaker. So he was an all-around center basically. So he definitely deserved to be number 2 on my list, no doubt about it. And then number 1, Superman, Dwight Howard. Best center on this list, best center of the 2010s, no doubt about it. Few MVP years where he finished top 5 MVP. You know, athletic beast, freak of nature, dominant post presence, one of the best shot blockers. He's not the best shot blocker on this list, just because based off his athletic ability of his vertical to jump up and get these blocks so high in the sky. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Dwight Howard was dominant in 2010s with the Magic, and still being dominant with the Houston Rockets. And you know, like I said, his best year was the year when he went to the finals, taking out LeBron, and then, you know, almost should have beat Kobe in the finals. So Dwight Howard, man, was a beast. Multiple defensive players of the years. You know, all defensive teams, all-star appearances. Like I said, Dwight Howard was athletic beast, 2-way center, had a good post game, good post hook. Didn't really have a jump shot, but still had an offensive bag playing the post. But his defense was really, really outstanding. And, you know, him posterizing people, you know, it's up to none. So, that's my top 5 centers on my list. If you like this video, like, comment, share, subscribe, do whatever you gotta do. I love you guys. Jay Boogie is out.